What's up, TikTok family? What's up, family in general? How are you doing today? Another live, and we're encouraging everybody who joins in to click the link in the bio for the new ebook that was just released last Sunday called Love Yourself, 15 Keys to Learning to Love Yourself More. A key is something you use to open or unlock a door. And these 15 keys are going to help unlock happiness in your life. One of the big challenges that I see in people's lives that I coach and talk to on a regular basis is most of their problems can go away if they just learn to love on themselves. I mean, that's there are relationship things at work, things in your family relationships that you would not tolerate if you just learn to take care of you. And that's the truth. So that's the core of all of the situations that I see happening in people's lives that I coach. I can point almost every situation in a person's life back to, what about you? What about you? If you have a question, leave it in the comment section. I will be happy to answer it. But this is all about you, how you can live a happier, more fulfilling life. And I'm encouraging and thank you to everybody who has gone out and purchased the new ebook. I mean, you guys have shown an amazing amount of support. And I have some other ebooks that are coming down the pipeline that I believe are really going to bless you. And that is, I have an ebook coming out, should be out Tuesday, called Watch Your Mouth. 5 things you're constantly saying that may be destroying your relationships, your image, and your life. Watch your mouth. 5 things that you are constantly saying that may be destroying your relationships, your image, and your life. That'll be out. I'm looking to have that out by Wednesday. Another ebook that should be out, we're finalizing everything by the following Wednesday, is It's Time to Move On. It's Time to Move On. That's the title of the book. And the book, this one is really going to be a blessing to so many people. It's time to move on. 5 relationship deal breakers that let you know it's time to go. In any relationship, it's time to move on. 5 relationship deal breakers that let you know it's time to go. It's time to move on. That ebook will be out in 2 weeks. It's a mini ebook. And so when I say mini ebook, typically it's going to be 40 pages or less, 50 pages or less, but it is going to blow your mind. It's time to move on. 5 relationship deal breakers that let you know it's time to go. What questions do you have about your relationships? Tell me. What questions do you have in general? Right? What questions do you have? Yeah, legit. This book, there are some deal breakers in people's relationships, things that they're putting up with that they should not be putting up with. And they're trying to figure out, well, should I stay? Should I leave? Should I not? And I'm talking about in your personal relationships, your professional relationships, your family relationships. It may be time for you to move on. These are deal breakers, things that are happening in a relationship that they're just barriers that people should never cross, right? But learning to love yourself, that's the ebook that we are talking about. It is going to help you. It's 15 keys to help you learn to love yourself more. The first key is important. Yeah, even in business, legit. The first key in this book is you're not a mistake. You make mistakes, but you're not one. One of the things that I run across all the time is people have challenges with self-image, right? You make mistakes. We all do. But you are not a mistake. And it's important that you understand that people understand that they're not a mistake. Right? You didn't just, it took a lot for you to get here. A lot for you to get here. There's I think it's something like a 1 trillion chance of you not being born, and you could have not been born at all, right? But for you to be here is something special. Okay? And so one of the things that I really, at the outset of the book, I talk about understanding that you are not a mistake. You make mistakes, but you are definitely not a mistake. And legit, there are a lot of things that happen in the world, right? And we can look at them one or two ways. We can look at it as a positive or a negative. We can look at it as something that's holding us back or something that we're going to use as a springboard to push us forward, right? The question is, whenever we're faced with something, a problem, how do you look at it? How do you see it, right? Are you going to use it to help you go forward, or are you going to allow it to push you back? And a lot of people, they come up against problems and they just don't know what to do. So they fold and they don't have to. And many of them just need an answer, like those that are contained in this book. One simple answer, one simple key will help them to unlock whatever challenge they're faced with so that they can go higher in their lives. One answer could change everything. I talk about for years in the early 2000s, late 90s, I was struggling with building a business. And I had never, ever generated more than $300,000. And I wanted to, I would tell people I was going to be $1 million seller or whatever, right? I did everything I could, everything I knew to do. And finally, I went to a bookstore. It was a half-price bookstore. And there was a book in there by an author by the name of Todd Duncan. This is 20 plus years ago. And the book was called Killing the Sale, the 10 Big Mistakes Most Salespeople Make and How to Avoid It. And when I read that book and started to apply what was in that book, it changed my life in less than 6 months. I have never, listen to me, I have never, since reading that book, I have never sold, I have never, in business, I have never done less than $1 million a year, ever. A new business, ever. I just haven't, in 20 plus years. And so it was the keys contained in that book that unlocked my thinking, that unleashed my potential. And so that's why I tell people, get resources. So what Todd Duncan did in that book is he showed me things that I didn't see. These are mistakes that you're making that most people make, right? And if you just change these things, it'll change everything about what you're doing in your professional career. And it did. So I am a humongous fan of getting resources that help to unlock things in your life that help you to go further. That's what this book is. This ebook, Love Yourself, 15 keys to learning to love yourself more, will unlock something in you, I believe, that will help you to go higher in your life. Remember, if you have a question, leave it in the comment section below and I will answer that question for you. And I don't care what the question is, what it's about, just leave the question in the comment section and I'll be happy to answer it. But my greatest desire, my purpose in life is to help people go higher. That's my purpose. That's why I'm on social media. That's why I communicate on social media. That's why I respond to all the messages, because that's My purpose. My purpose is to help you unlock things in your life, right? Problems in your life, things that you don't understand, right? And help you go higher. So, quick thoughts on crypto. I don't know enough about it. I actually have a Bitcoin account, but I don't know enough about crypto yet. But here's what I do know. Until the masses are open to exchanging crypto as a currency, it's worthless. It'll be worthless. Dirt can be worth a lot. Dirt can be worth a lot if somebody is willing to trade money for it, right? I don't know enough about crypto. What I do know is right now it is not a mainstream, if you will. It's not mainstream enough to be traded, or it's just not. Now, I will tell you that I believe that at some point it may. I remember when peer-to-peer money, PayPal, I remember when those things were brand new. Wait a minute, I don't have to use a bank to send money to somebody? And people were skeptical about that. And now you have all of these apps and banks and all of that that allow peers to send money to each other, right? We used to have to do that via Western Union, via another resource, right? So I don't know enough about crypto to talk about it, but what I do know is if there's something that you want to learn about, Google it, YouTube it, figure out what you need to do, right? To get it in your pockets, get it in your corner. Okay? So that's my take on it. That's it. All I know is you these are some things that we have to figure out for ourselves, right? But a lot of people are investing in things like this and they don't really know enough about it to invest anything in it. They don't. Okay? So, Sean, let me say this. Bitcoin may be more secure than the dollar, the physical dollar. But is it worth more? Right? That's what, what something is worth is determined by what someone else is willing to give you for it or get for it. That's it. So, I mean, people can talk about Bitcoin and very easy. So, love yourself. The 15 keys to learning to love yourself more. You're not a mistake. You make mistakes, but you're not one. What you see and say is what you believe. What you see and say is what you believe. You won't be happy with the rest of your world until you first become happy with yourself. Let's talk about that. So I met a gentleman. I was talking about this on my last live. I met a guy, and the first thing that came out of his mouth to me was how horrible his life was. And I asked him why, and he says, if you spent the last 20 plus years in prison and you're only 44, your life would be, you would probably feel the same way about your life. And I said, I would not. I wouldn't. And what I explained to him is I said, you are one person and one decision away from changing your entire life. Your past is only a reference point. That's all your past is. It's just a reference point. It shows you either how far you've come or how far back you've gone, right? It's just a reference point. It is not for you to drag your past into your future, into your present, because by doing so, you destroy your future. So I was trying to explain to him, stop telling me I don't care nothing about your past. I don't I don't care anything about that. You care about it. And I also said this to him in an honest manner. You tell people about it because you want people to feel sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for you. You made a choice that landed you in prison. And just like you made that choice, you can make another choice to keep yourself out and have the kind of success that you want. And I found out at the end of our conversation that this guy was a comic book creator. And he just didn't have any idea about how to get his comic book published. So I said, Google the self-published route and use social media to let the world know what you're doing. And no one on social media is going to ask you, have you ever been to prison? Have you ever been in prison? They want to know if what you have will help them. Is this comic book something that I will like? That's all that matters. So don't drag your past into your present and destroy your future. So many people do that. So when I sit down and I am coaching someone, or I'm counseling with someone, or I'm mentoring someone, and that's most of what I do is mentor them, I'll ask people the question, what is the problem? Right? They'll tell me, and I'll say, why do you think this problem that you just told me, why do you think it exists? Why? Okay? And now that we've answered that question, what would you like to do to change it? It's pretty simple. Why does this problem exist in your life? And what do you need to do to change it? Right? Decisions decide our future. Decisions decide our future. The choices you make decide your future. That's what decides your future. So if we are mindful of, if we pay close attention to the decisions that we make, we can change the direction of our future, right? That's what we have to do. And so this is what I was trying to get this guy to understand. You made a decision that caused you to go to prison. You made a sequence of decisions while you were in prison to cause you to get out of prison. Now that you're out, you can make different decisions that take you to another level in your life. And it ain't too late. You got a lot of life to live. You're in your mid-40s. Right? That is the crux of all of our lives. Decisions decide our future. You won't be happy with the rest of the world until you are first happy with yourself. What do I mean? The world around you, people around you, right? Your job, your relationships. You will not be happy with those things until you first become happy with yourself. Right? And that's what I try to get people to understand. You are blaming your wife. You are blaming your husband. You are blaming your coworker. You're blaming your job. You're blaming everything else in the world. What about you? Because the common denominator in all of those things is you, right? If you change you, you will change your world, including those who you allow into your world, right? When you start to love yourself and change the standards for which a person has to be in your life, everything about your world will change. If you have a question, leave it in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer it. But you have the power to change your entire life because decisions decide our future. The decision you make today will decide your future. So you have to be conscious and aware of the decisions that you're making. It doesn't matter where you were born or how you were born or whether you were in your single parent home or not. None of that matters. What matters is what choices are you making right now that will affect your future, that will affect your tomorrow. Because the decisions that you make right now can change your entire future. Hello, Mr. Jacob. How you doing? Decisions decide our future. So I encourage you, go get the ebook. Click the link in my bio and get the ebook, Love Yourself. Next Wednesday, that's the projected date, another book is going to be out. It's called Watch Your Mouth. Watch your mouth. 5 things you are constantly saying that may be destroying your relationships, your self-image, and your life. 5 things that you are constantly saying unknowingly. One of them is, I can't. Every time you say, I can't, right? Your brain stops looking for solutions to whatever problem you're facing. I'm into fitness. I work out, right? So let's say there's a 100-pound plate on the ground, and I look at it and say, man, I can't lift that. My brain stops looking for a way to solve that particular problem. Your brain stops looking for a way to solve that particular problem. You may not know how to do it, right? But I can't should not be part of your vocabulary. What you need to do is you need to try everything you can, including maybe you need to get stronger, right? Or maybe you need someone to help you lift that. But I can't needs to die in your life because it is destroying your relationships, your self-image, and your life. Congratulations, Mr. Jacob. Glad you joined the gym. Why did you decide to join the gym, Mr. Jacob? Are you trying to build muscle? Are you trying to burn more fat? Are you trying to, what are you trying to do? I would love to hear that. So I encourage you, go get this book right now. I would appreciate your support. Click the link in the bio and go get the book, Love Yourself. You'll read this book and it'll be a blessing to you. Love Yourself. It says, the introduction is, I promise after reading this, I promise after reading and working in this book, you will find a greater love and appreciation for self. You deserve to be loved like no one else can provide. And going through this book will help you do just that. I talk to people, both men and women from various backgrounds and many different countries, about how to overcome these challenges in their life. The one very common thing is that they are all challenged by loving themselves. Now, I'm not talking about some herky-jerky hashtag self-love. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about loving yourself by making yourself a priority, by putting you first, by not letting people step on you, right? By making sure that you are the priority in your life. Because if you are not the priority in your life, then no one else will make you a priority in their lives. You understand? Love yourself. We know how to give love to other people, right? But we think it's selfish to take care of us. Going to the gym, working out, eating right, that's part of loving yourself, taking care of yourself. It's part of taking care of you. I am proud to say that at 56 years old, I've never been in the hospital. I've never been sick to where I had to go to a doctor. I'm not on any medicine at all, period. Never, ever, because I love myself enough to take care of myself physically. I read books, right? I am into improving myself. I'm better today than I was yesterday, better this week than I was last week. I'm better, right? I want to be a better man, a better father, a better husband. I love me enough to be the best me that I can be, because if I die tomorrow, I want the impact to be that I was the best that I could be. You gotta focus on you. Take care of you. Now, how can I tell if a person really loves them? You could just look at a person. If they don't take care of themselves physically, right? Your physical appearance is an outward image of your thoughts of yourself. You gotta understand that. The way you dress, the way you look affects you, right? It shows people what you think about you. I'm not saying you have to put on a tuxedo and a prom dress every single day. But if you're not taking care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally, you are telling the world you don't give a damn about you. And if you don't care about you, then the world is not going to care about you. Are you listening to me? So this book helps you to get to a place where the world will respect you, because when they look at you, when they see you, they know that you don't need nothing that they have to offer, that you care enough about yourself, that you are not going to take anything from anybody, right? That you have a standard that you will not allow people to go beyond. In your professional life, in your personal relationships, in your family relationships, you will not allow people to cross a line. Years ago, one of my older sisters stood up and said something to my wife in my presence. And I love my sister. I got in my sister's face and I said, let me explain something to you. This woman is part of me, and you will not disrespect, talk to, you won't. I love myself enough to protect me and mine, right? Another true story. The other day, I was downtown at a park. My daughter is 6, and she was playing on the playground. Kids know how to coexist better than most adults do. Okay? They know how to get along way better than we do. And so this adult male said something to my daughter about getting on the merry-go-round. I'm going to protect, I love myself enough and I love my family enough that I'm going to protect them. I walked over to that guy and got in his face and said, sir, let me explain something to you. You can talk to any other child on this playground you want to, but you will not talk to my daughter. You won't. If you have a problem with what she's doing, you come talk to me. You find me. You ask for her parents, but you will not. You won't. Now, why did I do that? I'm not trying to be a bully. Why did I do that? Because I teach people how I will be treated, because I love me. And I'm not going to just let people do whatever they want to do, whenever they want to do it, because I care enough about me and what belongs to me. I care enough about that I am not going to just let people walk all over it. And I make mistakes. I've been in verbally abusive relationships that I should have left and I didn't. Finally, after a while, I did. I've been in those relationships. There were times when my love for myself dipped below where it needed to be. And I had to shake myself and wake myself up and say, absolutely not. This will not happen in my life. And if you want to be with me, this is the standard that you must adhere to, or keep it moving. I don't have a problem with it. Keep it moving. Mr. Jacob, I have never done a TEDx talk. If I was asked to do a TEDx talk, I would. I use this platform to get in front of potentially 130, 150, 100, 200,000 people so that I can share with them exactly what's going on. So whether I TEDx or some else X, I want to give this to you. So if TEDx calls me, I'll be happy to do it. I would. So if you know somebody, just send them my way. But I want you to love yourself. Love yourself. So I'm going to encourage you, stop doing what you're doing right now and go to the link in the bio. Click the link in the bio and get this ebook. It's $11.99. Invest in yourself. What is an investment? An investment is something that you give today that benefits your future. It's something that you give today that benefits your future. I promise you, if you get this ebook, It will bless your future. It will take care of your future. There are things in your future that will change because you got this ebook. Okay? $11.99 won't change my life, but it could change yours. $11.99 could change your life. Quick story. A guy I see as a mentor was in an airport heading to South Africa to go speak. He was with his assistant. His assistant was a guy. Went into a bookstore before getting on the airplane, and he saw this autobiography of a guy that he wanted to read. So he picked the autobiography up. I don't know how many pages it was. Must have been a pretty thick book. And when he got to the cash register, the cashier said, that'll be $100. Okay, so this gentleman pulled out the money, paid him, and when he put the book in the bag and went and sat down. And his assistant came up to him and said to him, Mike, I hope you don't mind me asking, but how much did you pay for that book? And Mike said, I paid $100 for it. And Mike, by the way, is a prolific author. I think he has 30 books or something. And so his assistant asked him this question. You write all kinds of books. Why would you spend $100 on someone's autobiography? Why would you spend that on a book? And this is his response. And I've carried this with me for the past 17 or 18 years since the first time I heard it. He said to his assistant, he says, son, let me explain something to you. I didn't just buy a man's book. I just purchased a man's life. And what took this man 70 years to learn, I will know it in just a few hours. Right? What took this man 70 years to learn, what took me 56 years to fully understand, you can know in an hour. Just by getting this book. Love yourself. People think I'm cocky. No, I'm confident. I believe in myself. I'm not arrogant. I'm not pompous. I don't put my nose up. I love everybody. I give to everybody equally. But I love myself. So people identify that as, oh, he's cocky. No, I take care of myself. Oh, he's self-absorbed. No, I take care of myself. I love me. I love me. Because if I don't love me, I can't expect you to love me. And that's just a standard in my life. So I have a couple of books that's coming out. Listen, click the link in my bio. It is my prayer that you go and get this book and invest in yourself. It's just $11.99. Get it. Give it to somebody else who you think may need it. Your son or your daughter or your husband or your wife. Love yourself. 15 keys to learning to love yourself more. This is not something that I researched. This is something that I experienced, right? My life is in this book, right? I got a book. This book I have coming out, it'll be out next Wednesday. I'm promising that it'll be out next Wednesday, called Watch Your Mouth. 5 things that you are constantly saying that may be destroying your relationships, your image, and your life. This is one you're going to want. And then another book that's coming out 2 weeks from now. These are mini ebooks. It's called It's Time to Move On. 5 relationships deal breakers that let you know it's time to go. It's time to get out of here. It is time to go. People stick around in relationships that are abusive way too long, right? People are doing things in relationships. I talked to someone, and I don't know if she's on this live right now. Someone was sharing with me that they have been in a relationship with someone that they are married to. I think she was married to it. And they have not been together in any kind of way intimately. I didn't know this until she told me later, for 2 years. She sleeps in the house. He sleeps outside in the camper. The question was, is that good? My immediate answer was absolutely not. The only reason why he's doing that is because you're allowing it. The only reason he's doing it is because you allow it. So it might be time for you to move on. Don't try to force it. Don't try to make people do it. right? It might be time to move on. So that book will be out in 2 weeks. Next Wednesday, the book Watch Your Mouth. 5 things that you're constantly saying that may be destroying your relationships, image, and life. That comes out next week. And it's time to move on. 5 relationship deal breakers that let you know it's time to go. And then this book right here is out right now. It came out Sunday. I'm encouraging you. Go get it right now. Stop what you're doing. Click the link in my bio. Get the book. The other thing that's on that site is you're going to see the 30 Days to Success Journal. Every year at the beginning of the year, January 1st, all the way through the 30th of January, I do a challenge. It's called a 30 Days to Success Challenge. Anything you do constantly, consistently, for 21 or 30 days becomes a habit in your life, and that sets you up for success for the rest of your life. The reason why people don't lose the weight, why they don't stay in the gym, why they don't eat right, is because it has not become a habit in their lives. It has not become a habit. The reason why we can't save money, invest money, grow our career, it has not become a habit. We are creatures of habit. And the more we do things, the more consistent we are with doing things, the more of a habit it creates in our lives, and we do it without thinking. A habit is something you do without thinking. I work out, I'm going to work out, end of story. I'm going to eat right, end of story. I don't care. You can shove donuts, pizza, you can sugary sodas in my face. I don't care. I'm not going to drink it because it's not my habit. Now, there was a time when that was a habit of mine. Eating bad, eating this, eating that, that was a habit. Not working out, that was a habit, right? It was just part of my life. Habits are things that we do habitually without thinking, right? So if you want to change your life, you got to get the 30 Days to Success Challenge, and you got to commit to it. Every single day takes you one step closer to becoming a better you, a more successful you. Every day, one step closer. So I encourage you, go get the book. Mr. Jacob, I'll end on this note. You said any diet advice? Yes. If you want to gain weight, eat more calories than you are supposed to eat on a daily basis. If you want to lose weight, eat fewer calories. I do what I call a kind of keto. Now, let me ask you, this is something that's going to be very important for you to understand. I ask myself this question. Anything that I'm going to do diet related, exercise related, this is the question I ask. And I encourage you to ask saying yourself the same question. Whatever you're choosing to do from a diet perspective, from an eating perspective, you ask yourself this question. If I had to eat like this for the rest of my life, would I be okay with doing it? If the answer is no, I don't encourage you to do it. If I had to eat like this every day for the rest of my life, can I eat like this? If the answer is no, don't do it. If I had to exercise like this, right, every day for the rest of my life, could I do it? So Mr. Jacob says, I need to lose weight. I need to eat 2,000 calories. But, right? So I'm going to tell you what I think you should do, right? Again, I subscribe to and do what I call kind of keto diet. I eat no fruits, too high in sugar, carbohydrates, no bread, no pasta, no starches, none of that. I get all of my carbs through vegetables, all of them. I do not get my carbs through fruit or anything. No bread, no pasta, none of that. I eat vegetables and protein. That's what I eat, right? Vegetables and protein. Cheese, right? Vegetables, proteins, cheese, eggs, chicken, steak, those kinds of things. That's what I eat. And I try to make sure that I eat enough to satisfy me. I'm not trying to eat a giant plate of food, and that helps me to stay in a calorie deficit. No, I don't cheat once a week. That's why I call it kind of keto. Kind of keto means if I want to have a slice of pizza on Friday night for family date night, that I do, right? Then I have a slice of pizza. Okay, so I'm going to answer your question here also, Combat. How do I get out of the friend zone? And how do I make a relationship more romantic? That's not your choice. It's the other person's choice. Okay? If you are trying to connect with somebody on a romantic level and they don't want to connect with you on a romantic level, leave their ass alone. I don't care how attracted you are to them, how much you like them. They're telling you what they want from you, and that is they do not want to be romantic. So you trying to force yourself into a romantic relationship with someone is like putting a square peg into a round hole. You are wasting your damn time. Go find someone you can love and who will equally love you back in the exact same way. It's better than trying to force yourself out of the friend zone and into a romantic relationship with somebody who only wants to be a friend. Okay, so you said I just don't drink caffeine and you stop drinking soda. Good. Keep doing it over time. And maybe you knock out one thing at a time. Now, let me also say one thing. Somebody comes to me, let's say, hypothetically, come to me and say, hey, man, I want to lose weight. I'll say to you, this is the first thing I'll say. Are you prepared to do this for at least a year? I've been on a fitness journey for 12 years, going on 13 years. And I have tried all kind of stuff, right? I try to do it fast. I try to do it slow. I do things. Now, when I work out, I do something that's activity related that I enjoy. I realize that you're going to burn 150 to 300 calories doing a workout. That is not where you're going to make your major gains. That's a bonus. What I do is I make sure I'm disciplined with my nutrition, right? That's where you're going to make your major gains at. For exercise, I do what I enjoy. It could be wrestling, walking, it could be kickboxing, whatever, lifting weights, whatever it is. I do what I enjoy as long as I'm being active, right? People tell you need to do a split or that. I lift weight. If you want to lift weights and you want to lift chest every day, do it. You want to do biceps and triceps every day, do it. You want to do legs every day, do whatever you need to do to stay active. But ask yourself that question that I was telling you. Is this something that you can do for the rest of your life if you had to? And if the answer to that question is yes, then it's approved. All right? Go to the link in my bio. Click the link in my bio. Get the book. I would appreciate your support. I really would. I'm thankful to God that you stuck around for this long. Love yourself. The 15 keys to learning to love yourself more. A key unlocks a door that opens up opportunity. If I have not answered the question that you want me to answer, right, then I want you to leave me a comment, send me a DM, send me an email. I'll be happy to do that. All right? I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on the next video and on the next live. Click the link in my bio right now to go get this ebook, and I would appreciate it. Thank you.